Okay, so doing some work on the bike today. I want to get some stuff done to it while it's still nice out. My plans today are to get some new shocks installed. Don't know why anybody would do this, but my bike comes with these Burly shocks. I don't know why they call them Burly, and I don't know why anybody would want these on their bike for. Pretty sure somebody walking down the road in skinny jeans and plaid would more Burly than these shocks. I was a little upset riding this home my first day, and I took a corner to the right and dragged this pipe. It's all scarred up and scratched in here. Probably wasn't the first time it happened. So I thought, you know what, I don't want that happening again. So I'm going to put some different shocks on this bike. I do have the set. I unfortunately have misplaced the other one. I do not know, in fact, where I put it. So I'm going to have to find it. The one is in the box, so that's a good sign. So not overly difficult to do this. 50 on the top, 50 on the bottom, 19 mil, or I think 7/8 or something on the back. Hold that, undo this, undo that, same on the other side. Shock comes off, put the other one on, and go from there. Depending on what you're using, I got a little motorcycle jack down there, so I can just lift this up pretty easily to get it up in place, because when you have the shorter shocks, your bike's going to sit a lot lower. So with the jack, I'll be able to adjust it up and down to wherever I need it to be. So I'm just going to get my tripod out here, and I'll get you guys set up, and I'll put you on the tripod and watch me do this. A little bit rusty, so we'll probably throw a little bit of anti-seize on that. Spacer behind the shock. Another spacer or a collar. Another metal spacer. So that went like that. Bolt and cap. There was Loctite on that. So here's the reason why I'm changing these out. So you can see, lined up, top to bottom. If we measure we measure the Burleys about center to center, you see they're about 10 and a half to 10 and 3/4. We measure the stock. They're coming around 11 and 3/4. We gain almost an inch and a bit going to the OE style. All right, so now what you'll find is when you put your new ones on, just have to make sure that everything lines up here. Yeah. What you'll find is because of the difference in length, you're gonna have to lift your bike. Right now my bottom bolt is coming about where my axle is, but it has to go up to this hole. So I'm gonna have to lift the bike, allow the swing arm to drop so I can put that on. All right, so we're gonna stick this back on, and we still have a ways to go. These threads are pretty dirty. Now I can see how far I have to go up to get this aligned, which is a long ways. So just crank the bike up a little bit more. I think I'm about there. Let's throw. See how many spacers we need. Well, looks like I found out something else that needs to be looked at. All right back. Okay, so apparently Harley likes to be a chucklehead. This bolt is apparently a Harley part that they created themselves. T50 Torx, 1.5" bolt, 13 threads per inch. You won't find bolts like this. I tried. So I had to do some digging around. You can tell by my plethora of various bolts and nuts and washers that I had to figure out something that worked. I tried everything from about 2.5 up to 3.25 inch long bolts. What I found is a 3-inch bolt works perfectly. So you got your 3-inch bolt. You take just a normal thin washer, 1/2 inch. That goes on the outside. You got your standard little spacer between the shock and the swing arm. Put your bolt through. They're still a little wet because, you know, Harley paint things black, right? Exactly. So you got your bolt, you get your thin washer, you get another thin washer, put it on the back. And then what's really important, and this is the part that I had to track down, is that this one here is considered a locking nut, and this is a nylock. So the nylock has the nylon inside. This doesn't have it. It's oblong in a certain shape so that it locks. So with 2 small washers, 1/2 inch by 3 inch bolt, coarse thread, you put everything on. And get everything down. Nice and tight. Look, ever so carefully in the back, you can just see a bit of the gold from that bolt sticking out, and that's right where you want to be with this. So just take a step back. Take a step back. There's everything installed. Painted the hardware black. Top one's still chrome. Okay, so I'm just working on finalizing the bolts for the swing arms. So you can see this one is done here. Came over here to work on this side. Not 100% sure what's different, but the distance between here to here is a lot shorter. So on the driver's side, if you will, the proper bolt that you want is 2.5 inch. So if I put it through, try not to ruin my paint job here. So if we put it through, you can see how much it sticks out. I might actually need a 2 3/4 on this one, but we'll see where we're at. Apparently, or it would seem that a large washer does not also fit on this side because it does hit the subframe, so that won't work. And I do not think, out of all my stuff here, that I have a washer. I mean, I have that one, so that one might work. So it looks like one of the upper shock mounts will work, nuts or washers that I had. Yep, so that one will work. So there's the washer, and then there's my lock nut. Okay. Passenger side done. Driver side done. Looking at from the back of the bike. I'm not sure why there's a difference in the swing arm, but this one is straight. This one, if you look at it, I needed a spacer because of the swing arm. So yeah, so both sides are on. This side just needs a shorter bolt than that side, and that side needs a spacer. That side does not. So not quite sure why all the small little differences there, but it must be just some geometry differences in the swing arms. So 2 shocks installed. I do have plans to switch this out to probably progressive springs, probably go to like a progressive 412 like a lot of people do on this bike. But for now, it was just, they were cheap. And so I put them on here because I needed the extra height. The funny thing about working on this is it's made me lead to believe that maybe, haven't decided, maybe in the new year, I might contemplate on looking at a powder coating machine, either a powder coating machine or a mini lathe. I haven't decided on which way to go with that, because powder coating would be nice because any bullets like these ones here, I mean, I could probably pick them up from the Harley dealership and get the black ones. But I can also get a powder coater and then do lots of things like powder coat the bolts down there in the swing arm instead of spray painting. If I got a mini lathe, anytime that I worked on bolts, I can get rid of all this. I mean, I know I could just get rid of that using like a sander, but then, you know, is it going to be flat? Is it going to be straight? So I don't know. I haven't decided. if I'll be powder coating or getting something like that in the new year. Because I'm up here in Canada, and as the winter rolls in, we're having a nice hot summer. We do lots, but in the winter time it slows down a lot because it's too cold to generally do anything. So it's usually the time to start figuring out stuff. So, and then tomorrow I plan on riding it to work to see how everything is, and we'll go from there. Hopefully it's a lot better and not as jarring and gives me a little bit more height. I don't scrape pipes anymore. So wish me luck, and hopefully maybe you'll learn something. Not a hard job, just having to figure out what length that bolt was. A lot of people, if you read on the forums, do say they're about a 3-inch long bolt, but you know, sometimes you never know what they say and if it's true or not. So yeah, it's a nice little bike. I enjoy riding it. So anyways, that's it for tonight. Just a quick little shock change for the bike. Give the Sportster a little lift on it, if you will, and get riding and enjoying it again. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.